up, everybody? Checking to see if you can hear me. Then I'm going to mute this. Give me 1 second. Okay, sounds like you can hear me. What's going on? How's everybody? A lot of people. Hey, everyone. This is exciting. Scott, hello. Wait, is there music playing? Why is that happening? Hold on. I can fix this. There should not be music playing. Music's gone. Got rid of the music. What's up, everybody? The music is louder than me. How about now? Can you hear me now? My mic isn't loud. Let's see. Audio. Show advanced options. It definitely isn't up loud. Why is that? Nicole says, it sounds fine. I'm still quiet. Sounds great now. We're all good? Yes. Better. Vanessa calling it better, not good. Can we get a good? Any idea when Omnipod will get a better algorithm? Oh, I think Omnipod's algorithm is fine. What are you talking about? I don't know what their plans are. Oh, somebody switched to Islet. We got a lot going on here. I stopped by to say hello. We got a lot of talking. Let me get to it. Let me put some people's questions up and say hi. This background is from the I Don't Understand series that just came out with Jenny and I. But there are 3 episodes coming soon with Arden, which is going to be fun. And there'll be more of that to come. Let me get back here and see what's going on. Let's see. Is this Jason's episode? Is that which one went up today? You want me to say hello, friends? It seems weird now that you've asked for it. Let's see. What am I hearing? Fiasp. I just got back from the pharmacy after Endo wants my daughter to try Fiasp, and insurance won't cover it, so we're asking the Endo to write an exception like we had to do with Novolog. Since the insurance only wants to cover Humalog, it's never worked well for my daughter. Fiasp, I think for the people it works well for, works great. Some people report it works faster. Some people say it works faster for a while and then all of a sudden sort of doesn't work fast anymore for them. Arden couldn't use it because it burned, but we think she had some sort of interaction with whatever they use to speed up the action of the insulin. But a lot of people like it and use it. So if you can get them to cover it, it's, I think, worth a shot. Judah, hi. I know your name. How are you? You've been listening for 2 years? Is that what you're saying? And Emily makes a point, Kendra, that Lumjev is also an insulin that's supposed to work faster, and maybe that's covered by your formulary. Let's see. My mic is low. My mic's not. I'm going backwards. Sorry. Sounds good. Sounds great now. Better. Loud and clear. Let's see. Scott switched to Islet on the second day. Scott, I'm interested to know how that's going. Scott's over on YouTube watching. Let's see. Better. Good. Okay, everybody's saying them. Jason's episode today. I'm glad you liked that. Jason was terrific, I thought. Crazy story. What do we got here? Any ideas on how to get sugar up fast and keep it there? Already tried Juice Smarties and a shit ton of food, 140, and at a concert that's about to start. Do you have a lot of active insulin? 140 sounds good. You think you're going to be jumping around and it's going to fall again? Are you on a pump? Could you do a temp basal decrease? Nicole, tell us more. Hi, Judah. It's good to see you. Hi, Isabel. How are you? I have an anniversary badge, but pretty sure we're coming up on 4 years of listening, 2 years in the group. Oh wow, how about that? That's very cool. Let's see. I feel like Omnipod's not great pump for highs. Yolanda, do you mean Omnipod 5? And do you try bolusing yourself? We're jumping around here, but Nicole, is if your pump has an activity mode. Oh, he's in activity mode. This is your son? He's at a concert. I'm getting it now. Hold on a second. Um, his insulin's paused. What system is he using? We don't want him to get high, too. Yolanda, Omnipod 5. So you're saying when you see a high blood sugar, it's not being aggressive enough. Are your settings good? Does it work normally? Is it happening with certain meals and not others? Are you bolusing once it gets high to try to impact it? Nicole, also Omnipod 5. He's at 140. He's at a concert. Activity mode does sound like a good idea for the concert. Yolanda, I'm bouncing back and forth here, but I can do it. Yolanda, yeah, I mean, it's Omnipod 5 is correcting with those micro boluses, which is really like an increase in um, basal. So if you get hit with fat and protein rise or a meal that you didn't, do a great job counting carbs with, or it's impacting differently than you were hoping, it's going to take a little bit to catch up. I mean, you can bolus to try to show the algorithm like this needed more, and hopefully it'll figure that out over time. Oh, Nicole, he just started the pump on Friday and he's at a concert. Well, 140 without insulin on board. I mean, what's his target set out on Omnipod 5? You could try activity mode, or you could try setting the target higher. Like, what's the highest one? Is 130 the highest or 150? But the highest target, which will, slow down insulin. What kind of concert has ice cream? It's awesome. Is this like a school thing or? I didn't get. Speaking of ice cream, if you're coming to see me at Touch by Type 1 in Orlando, I hear there's going to be kind of an ice cream hour at the end of the day, and then I'm talking at the end doing a Q&A. So if you hang around for the ice cream, you can chat. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Well, there's like 47 people here. Does anybody have any questions? I stopped by to tell you about something I was doing, and to mention that it's crunch time now. If you are interested in going to the Juice Cruise, it's time to put your deposit down so that we can make sure that this thing happens. We need a few more families to say yes to make it a reality. If you're thinking about going to the Juice Cruise and you're on the fence, put down your deposit. It would be very cool and help the whole thing get really going. Let's see. He's in activity and I don't know how to walk him through changing his target. Can somebody tell Nicole simple steps to send to text to her son to change his target to the highest target? Okay, we're back to Scott, who is using iLet. It's different. I don't have the alarm fatigue I was getting with the X2. I think once it learns me better, I'll be better off with the iLet. Scott, what are you hoping for your goals? Like, what are your A1C goals with it? Like, what were you doing? What were your outcomes like with the X2? And is that something you think you can maintain with it? I'm super interested. I want to have more people. Hi, Melissa. Let me answer you like this. Not yet. I would say soon-ish. That's all I can say right now. But if people who use the Mobi want to come on and talk about it, then they would go faster, but need to find the people who have the real knowledge about how to use it. Okay, so Nicole, we don't want him to be without insulin. So suspended pump is probably going to be a different problem. You're going to have to shoot the middle here and do something. Hey now. What's up, Valerie? What do we got here? Justine. Switching to G7 soon. I am so good at following the dots on G6 without the smoothing out. Is it easier or harder to follow? You said the last three dots tell a story. It's a good point. It takes a little getting used to. Um, I don't know if the last three dots tell as much of a story on G7 as they did on the G6, but it's a little more. Let me think about how to put it. I'm not sure how to put it. It's more. It feels jumpier, but I think it's more accurate. Like it'll go like 196, 185, 194. Like it feels more like that sometimes. Um, Different, better, worse, just something to get accustomed to, really. This is a little bright. My light is a little bright. I was on a call today and they couldn't see me. Oh, well, that's much better. I was going blind. Even that's better. Right? Am I wrong? There. Yeah, it's better on my eyes. I'm telling Arden to bolus. Okay. What else? Let's see where we're at here. Sorry about that. Hi, Donna. How are you? That's a name I recognize for a long time. You see this, Nicole? If you tag Corey in a post, he'll walk you through changing the goal, the target on Omnipod 5. Activity mode for 3.5 hours, then basal back on. I'll have him switch it back to auto if he gets a lot higher. Is activity mode not in auto? I just wanted to thank you for the knowledge you have shared with me and my other parents. Oh, hey, Victoria. Thank you. That's it's my pleasure. I'm so happy that you're getting something out of the podcast. Tell a friend, please. Or a stranger. Honestly, you could tell an absolute stranger. Anybody you want. Okay, so there might be stuff going on in the private group that I can't see in this. I'm not, no, actually, I should be able to see it. I think this thing's working better. Good job, Restream. I think they're doing a good job with their product here. Still learning about Restream. Very nice product. Anyway, I have been putting together a list of things that you've heard in the podcast that have been really valuable to you. It's in a post right now. Let's see if I can find the post for you. And it is being used by our very own Nico to build a database of things that I've said that people find valuable, which is lovely. And I'm going to use it for some upcoming content, and I'm going to use it for a speaking engagement as well, but mostly to make content for you guys that hopefully will be valuable. So I want to know, let me see if I can find it here. I saved it. How do you find saved post? I can do it. Don't worry. Hold on a second. Saved. How about that? Oh, it's under my name instead of the podcast. What the heck? All right. While I figure that out, let's answer another question. Not a question. Ashley loved the best of episode. How do I choose those? I send Isabel a text and I say, I'm going to put up a best of episode. Which one do you want to hear? And then she tells me. So I have to change to a different profile. If it kicks me out, I'm going to cry. Ready? Nope, it worked. Okay. So here is this thread. If you have anything to add to this thread, please do. That's in the private Facebook group. You have to be a member of the private Facebook group. If you're not, you can join if you're listening on YouTube or something like that. But we're building this list of sayings and other things from the podcast that have been helpful to you. This list has 116 comments from listeners, but we don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss anything. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I think along the ways there's been kind of like colloquialisms or like short sentences that I've spoken that people are like, oh my God, that really helped me. That the truth be told, like, I don't know how valuable it is. If it helps you, I'd like to know about it so we can build a repository of them. So if you have anything to add to that list, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. What do we got? Oh, yes, Isabel. She picks the best subs. Isabel also tells me what I should talk to Jenny about. So, because I'll tell Isabel, I've already done it all. I don't need to do any more of this. And she goes, no, people want to know about this topic. And I go, okay. Um, and then I talk to Jenny about it on the show. Crush it and catch it. That's probably on there, Vanessa. Believe it or not, those are the kinds of things that when I sit down to make that list, sorry, lips are dry. When I sit down to make that list, I can't remember that stuff off the top of my head. You say crush it and catch it. I could start talking about it right now and do a half an hour on it. But if you just said to me, like, write down a list of all the things you think you've said that have helped people, I'm not great at it. It's just, I say so. I mean, I talk a lot, and so I say a lot. Any idea if Omnipod will get more aggressive algorithm in the near future? I mean, they haven't told me anything, but they don't tell me stuff, anyway. I would say, that if you look at what iLet is, you look at what Omnipod 5 is, you look what X2 is, with Tandem's Control IQ is. If you look at the new 7 is 780G from Medtronic, and even the new twist pump that's coming, it's going to have a loop algorithm on it. I think they're all fitting. I think they're all trying to cover some aspect of how people manage. So far, what Omnipod has said out loud is they don't want you to have to think about it. They want Omnipod 5 to do its thing. Now, I would say that if you think it's not aggressive enough, or if you think it's not customizable enough, then it might not be for you. If you want them to make a more customizable, more aggressive algorithm, you should tell them that. Asking me is not going to help. But I think if enough people told them that, they'd take it seriously. Let's see. What's Isabel's story? Isabel's with a Y, Natalie, but we'll let that go. Isabel, I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say about you. Right, Isabel? Isabel fought in the French Foreign Legion. She's 96 years old. She's had type 1 diabetes for a little while now. And I don't know. What do you want to say about yourself? I can keep making up lies, but if you want to, Isabel can tell you about her. She's lovely. She has type 1. And I don't know. She can share her story. Add, crush it, and catch it. Scott, what are you saying to me? Better, wait. Better info, I feed it, the better the outcome. This is iLet. You mean more accurate with average meal, smaller than average, larger than average meal. That's it, right? You can't do anything else. You can't correct a blood sugar or anything. You don't find that upsetting if your blood sugar gets high and you can't do anything? Also, I've talked to them, and I think they're going to eventually let you do something, but that's me inferring from a conversation. I'll have a better feeling about it in a week. Of course, still learning me, but it looks like the algorithms work. Hey, man, great. Congratulations. I hope it's awesome for you. I think that pump is going to help a lot of people who otherwise, weren't going to have great success, and help people like you who are like, I've got fatigue. I can't be doing this anymore. Isabel says, Isabel, I'm allowed to tell people who you are? My cup is green. It's blending into the, look at that. That's pretty cool. Okay. I'm not saying anything about your life, Isabel. That is, wait, you have to tell me a wee bit. Oh, so put it on me. And if I talk too much, then what? Isabel's the mom of 2 girls. She has type 1 diabetes. She's had it for a few years. She's my age, so obviously very young. And she wears a Dexcom and an Omnipod. And she came to me, what did we just decide, Isabel? Was it 3 years ago? And she thought that I wasn't, how did you put it in your text the other day? She texts me so much that if I try to look at her text, I'm not going to be able to find it. How did you put it the other day? You thought you would just help me get organized. Yes, 3 years ago. So she was watching me online and thought that I had too much content and it wasn't organized. Is that about fair? And she thought that the podcast was really helpful and she was grateful for it and she wanted to help me get organized. Um, and then she didn't leave me alone because I'm delightful. Is that about right? And now she texts me when I'm about to get in the shower. That's her job. Her job is to somehow know that I'm half naked in my bathroom stepping in the shower, and then she texts me to tell me that somebody said something crazy on the board, or are we going to let this person say this, um, or did you know you left, I'm doing good, thank you, Isabel, or do you know you left this part in the episode you shouldn't have left in? And I always go, no, I didn't know that. Today she called me Dave a lot. It's about it. I think it's about it. Anything more? And her daughters are lovely. There. Is that good? Did that answer everybody's question about Isabel? I am afraid of her. I mean, she's Canadian and French. So she's nice, but I picture her like with a baguette holding a cigarette, just beating me with that baguette. Yes, that's true. We are friends and we do have fun. Okay. I did a good job. Nicole says I did a good job. Or Natalie. Excuse me, Natalie. I apologize. Um, All right. So anyway, if you guys can go hit that link and put your thoughts in about, um, things. I sound so pompous. I don't mean to say it like this, but anything I've said on the podcast that has helped you, or you think is something somebody else should hear, I'd love to know what it is so that we can make a list of lists about it. Um, there might be one other thing that I was going to ask about, and then I can answer more questions if you want. I don't know where it is. Shoot. Oh, you know what? Since you guys are here, I'll tell you this. This is what you get for being in the live or watching it later. Um, very soon, end of September, end of September, I'm going to open up my recording calendar for 2025. So those of you who've wanted to be on the podcast but haven't been able to get on, um, we're going to be able to start putting you on the schedule in the first quarter of 2025. When the quarter's full, I'm going to shut it down a little bit, reopen it after Thanksgiving up to the halfway point of 2025, and then I'm not going to take any more until late spring of 2025. So if you've been thinking about being on the podcast, keep an eye out for those posts because I just open them up and then people come back to me. It fills up very quickly. Just so you know, if you're interested. I did a good job. See? Not too much, not too little. That's it. This app is getting better and better all the time. Is this direction for me, or are you talking about the name of today's episode? I've met Kevin Smith a few times. There was a time in my life when I would have told you that Kevin Smith would have known my name and recognized me. And I don't think that time exists anymore. I don't think he would any longer. Wonder if I have any pictures to prove that to you. Let's see. Where would they be? So in I don't know when. Do you guys want this story? I don't know if I ever told anybody this story before. In I was in my mid 20s. Hold on. But we always want more. Spouses are good. We'd love that. Is there a setting that would fix the activity mode on Omnipod 5 not working well for us? It causes highs later. We turn it on and an hour early. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen, right? Because you're turning it on and it's restricting insulin. And if you're having some activity and it's helping with it, then that thing comes back on, and you know, you basically hit like a black hole where there's no insulin left, and the slightest little thing's going to make a rise. I would say try turning it back on earlier first. That would be the first thing that would make sense to me. Try turning it back on earlier. If anybody's looking for the Diabetes Pro Tip series, it's right there. And if you're listening to this right now on the public Facebook page, excuse me, on the private Facebook page, there's the public Facebook page. Please follow that. If you're listening in the public page right now, there's the private group. Please follow that. And of course, a lot of people are asking Omnipod 5 questions. So there's a list to the Omnipod 5 Pro Tip series. I'll leave that up for a second while I figure out how to tell you this story that involves a picture. So I click media, I click image. I'm doing this. Hold on a second. Upload. Oh, I did it. This article was in the newspaper, and I was in my early 20s, and I realized who Kevin Smith was. He's a movie director, and he lived in New Jersey. So, oh geez, I don't need that. Give me a second. He lived in New Jersey, and I was at my job one day collecting debts from people. Horrible, horrible job. And I was at my job one day, and I saw online he used to have a web board, like I mean, like my group, I guess, right? And he was on there talking about that they were shooting the DVD extras for Mallrats in his comic book store in Red Bank, New Jersey. Now, I was an adult. I was married, and I was at work, and I thought I hated my job, and I wanted to like write things or make movies or something, and I just wanted to see this thing, right? Like I wanted to see what they were doing. So I went up to my boss and I was like, I'm sick. I have to leave. And I left work. I went home, you know, explained to my fairly new wife that I was going to, you know, I took off from work and I was driving out to see this guy, you know, film DVD extras for his movie that nobody saw. And I got there. I brought my camera. I don't have the pictures right now. I brought my camera. I went to this comic book store. And when I got there, it's called Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. And when I got there, the store was still open. So I went in. Kevin was there. Jay Muse was there. Jason Lee. Do you know Jason Lee from Earl? Remember that TV show? What's it called? Something Earl. Um, there were a lot of famous people in the room. And they were all there to film, like, you know, remembrances of making the movie. And so I went in and I shopped a little bit, and I said to somebody, what's the plan? And they said, oh, we're going to let people wait outside and look through the window while we're filming this. Except it was so early on with the internet that I was the only one that showed up. Like no one else came. So Kevin was getting ready to start. He came out and he looks at me and he goes, who's that guy? And somebody goes, he's here because you said for people to come, but no one else showed up. And he goes, oh, then let him come in. So I stood for hours in the back of that room while they filmed all the stuff with the director. It was very, very cool. And that's how I met Kevin Smith. And then I met him a couple more times at film festivals and things like that. He seems like a very decent guy. Let's see. All right, story time is over. Back to Scott's eyelet pump. This is a pump a normal doctor can give a patient and give an hour of training and release them into the world. See, that's what I'm thinking, Scott. I am definitely thinking that there are plenty of people. I just interviewed a lady this week who lived most of her life from like, I think age 15 to into her 30s with double digit A1C. She didn't know what she was doing. And and she wouldn't bolus even. I think if you gave her this, she would have, like, she was just letting her basal run in the background. I think if she had this, I think she would do it. I also think it opens up the opportunity for people who don't go to an endocrinologist people who just go to a GP for their diabetes, I think this is something a GP might even be comfortable giving them because they're not going to need to know how to use it. Let's hope. Let's see. Is Arden using 1.0 Trio or the version that just went live? Did it just go live like 2 weeks ago or a week ago? Because I think that's the one she's using, the newest version right now. And I'm hearing that there's going to be another version that cleans it up, makes it all pretty and everything. Actually, I just interviewed somebody about Trio the other day, but it's going to take a week or two for it to go up. Nicole, it was fun. I think you're talking about the Kevin Smith thing. It was a good day, and I did not ever become. I did write a book. Isn't that funny? I don't think I became a writer. I wrote a book, but it's not what I meant to do. I meant to write movies, and then this all happened. So now I do this. Um, Kristen, I'm wondering how everyone pre-boluses for fat and protein rise. You just have timers every day to remind you we're 3 years in, and fat and protein is still such a struggle. I feel like I'm constantly forgetting how long ago we had something with butter or cheese. I have listened to all the fat and protein episodes more than once. First of all, you should all listen to all the episodes more than once. That would be lovely. Um, I just look at it like me personally, like what Arden doesn't remember. Like I'm just going to be honest with you. Arden gets high and lets the algorithm try to bring her down. Um, I try to remember that she sees a fat and protein rise about 45 minutes to an hour after she eats the fatty food. And then I like bolusing a second time. But with some algorithms, that's problematic. Actually, hold on a second. Chucklehead did not bolus when I asked her to. Trying again. She's getting settled in at the new college. Um, yes, Ashley, she's definitely using that version of Trio that you're talking about. Trio is awesome. Trio, for those of you who don't know, is a branch. So there are a bunch of people who worked on IAPS. I don't want to tell their story, but a number of them branched off from IAPS and started um, Trio. So I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about why they did that, but I think they were having a working relationship issue with somebody, so they kept working on the code by themselves somewhere else. The fat and protein calculator, Isabel, is that what you're talking about? I don't know how to show people where that is. Oh, she's seen it. Okay. If you see double arrows, Diane says an hour. Oh, by the way, nothing you hear on the Juicebox podcast should be considered advice, medical or otherwise. Always consult a physician before making any changes to your healthcare plan. And that goes for this too. I'm not a doctor. There's a disclaimer here somewhere. If you want to read it, you should. At the moment, I don't know where it's at, but it's at juiceboxpodcast.com if you want to say it. I did. I should try it. We just switched to the right before. What do you switch to? Wait, what? Oh, Ashley. Yeah, I mean, they cleaned up some stuff. There's like a glitch about Dexcom or something that they fixed. Um, I mean, I would update to it if you are already using it. All right, again, Diane said, if you see double arrows an hour and a half into giving insulin, after giving insulin, I think you mean, would you give more insulin automatically or would you wait and see if it comes back down if it meant higher blood sugars? I mean, I would bolus. I would assume that meant I missed something or something new had happened. But when I assume that, I also know Arden's basal's good, her insulin to carb ratio is good, and her insulin sensitivity is good. Now, actually, right now, Arden's settings are shitty right now. I always forget if you can curse on a Facebook Live, but nobody said anything about it yet because so Arden's been using GLP for a while now, which is working great for her, but she like could not eat enough, so we had to back it down. So we backed it down, and now we're bringing it back, but you have to wait a week before you do it. She's not got quite enough yet, so we're kind of dancing the middle right now with her insulin settings, and she'll inject the GLP again on Saturday morning, and then we'll see where her settings look like. I hope to have them dialed in 2 to 3 weeks. So she's not here, so it goes a little slower. But if I knew all the settings were great and normally I didn't see that rise, then I would bolus. If I saw that rise all the time, I'd assume carb ratio was wrong, basal needed to be looked at, things like that. Not a doctor, not advice. Anyone on Medicare that could help with Part D or supplement advice? Medicare professionals, someone please see Donna. Thank you. Haley boluses again. This is the Apple shortcut for the bolus calculator. Oh, no, wait. Apple shortcut. That's the Apple shortcut. This is the calculator. You guys can't click on these, but if you go into the comments, you can click there. Thank you, Isabel. Yes, thank you, Isabel. All right, hold on a second. Nicole may be able to help with Medicare. Donna, you turned 65, Donna? Happy birthday. 43 years with type 1. Donna, way to go. Way to hang. That's awesome. Oh, there's a post in the feature tab of the group with all the active links. There you go. Thank you, Isabel. See, that's what Isabel meant by she wanted to get me organized, because I would never have done that for you. Let me be very clear. I'm not organized at all. The things that Isabel texts me to fix, here's how my imagination goes. I imagine she picks up her phone and she goes, "Dear idiot," but then her fingers fix it and says, "Did you know that you left in the little bit at the end for the editor?" But what I think she means is, "Oh my God, you're an adult. Why do you screw so much stuff up? And how come you spell so poorly?" That's what I think you're thinking, Isabel. Loving all the GLP episodes. Thank you, Becky. I took some shit online for it, but I persevered, binging them for so many different reasons. For people, thank you. Question for a friend of mine. Her 9-year-old type 1 wanting to stay on Omnipod, but would have to change every 2 days due to insulin with growing in puberty. I mean, if she's got the insurance, just have them write the prescription for more pods and more insulin, and that should be that. That was easy. Unless there's more to it than that. Isabel, are you saying that that is what you're thinking when you're texting me? Like, how could he possibly have misspelled diabetes? Do you ever think that? It's only because I don't pay attention, not because I can't spell. Well, I also can't spell. Scott is extremely curious about a GLP. Isn't that what is stripped out from the artificial insulin molecule when it's folded? I don't, that doesn't ring a bell for me, Scott, but ChatGPT will know. ChatGPT will know. What I will do is, I can't copy that. Is GLP stripped out, I'm using your words, of the insulin molecule when it's folded? Scott getting technical. Let's see what GLP is not part of the insulin molecule, so it is not stripped out during the folding of insulin. During the synthesis of insulin in the pancreas, the proinsulin undergoes folding in the endoplasmic reticulum, which it forms, Jesus, mother of Christ, where it forms disulfide bonds and is cleaved into insulin and C-peptide. No GLP is involved. Look at me. Now we know something we didn't know before. Donna, find Nicole. She seems to know something. Nicole, don't scam Donna, okay? I don't know if you're a scammer or not. I don't think you are. I have Medicare, but I have an Advantage plan. Aetna Advantage, but probably doesn't do my self-insurance company. Part D is what you need. Omnipod for under. Brenda is putting something up there she thinks Donna would agree on. Usually I just miss a letter. Also, sometimes I let ChatGPT write things, and then later Isabel sends me a long list of things she wants me to fix, and she doesn't seem to like them. I'm not doing it. Donna's not doing it. Advantage. Oh, Nicole's not going to rip you off, Donna. Perfect. You guys made a friend. Scott, if you want, there is a significant. Scott's on YouTube, but Scott, if you join the private Facebook group, In the featured tab, there's a list of all of the sorry, I'm pulling on my eye. All of the GLP episodes. Find them interesting. Start with the ones with Dr. Blevins if you really want to understand it. All right. Yeah, Nicole's got some like professional bona fides here. She'll be able to help. What else? Anything, guys? How am I doing? You guys are enjoying the podcast? Is summer over? Can you all like send your freaking kids back to school and listen to the podcast more, please? Because there's always a 15% dip during the summer because all of you seem like you're busy or some shit. I still make the podcast. I got kids. It's my summer too. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the show. Isabel will tell you, most of Isabel's job is to listen to me complain. What do I mostly complain about, Isabel? Can we tell people what I mostly complain about? Maybe we shouldn't tell them. All right, you guys listened to a reasonable amount of the show today. Thank you. Yeah, all right. I can literally see it picking back up. It's interesting. Like the distinct viewers grow as kids go back to school. And as European countries, like they go on like vacation for freaking ever, those people. What do we got here? Jason is eating jelly beans because I was mowing the lawn at 85 degrees and it's humid as fuck. Definitely eating too many because I'm also bolusing for those damn yummy carbs. Go ahead, Jason. Have yourself some beans. What kind, Jason? Can I ask? Because there's really only one right answer, and it's just born. But anything else you're doing, I wouldn't shit on you for. Good. Vanessa's kids went back to school. The rest of you, get your kids out of the house. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not listening to the podcast enough. Back to school for a month, Haley. Thank you. Ooh, yeah, 100 degrees. Where do you live? Move somewhere cooler. Ashley has started Zepbound. I use Manjaro. Oh no, I use Zepbound. Ashley and I are doing the same thing, and it's amazing. You definitely help me feel okay about it, and not embarrassed. Oh, I'm so happy about that. Ashley, keep me apprised. Starburst is not right, Jason. I'm sorry. I'm glad you didn't feel embarrassed, but you shouldn't. By the way, I mean, I would show you a picture of me 2 years ago, but I'd be afraid somebody would screen capture it. But it's very worth it. And if it's something you tolerate and something you need, it's just awesome. Crystal, thank you. Try, but thank you. Is there any reason you all couldn't go to bed at night listening to an episode and let one finish? Would that hurt anything? No. Subscribe and follow. Make sure automatic downloads are turned on your Apple device, please. Tell a friend. I inhaled the Omnipod episodes this past weekend while panicking and sobbing during the switch from MDI. I'm glad it helped. We have a switching episode. Right, Isabel? What's it called? It's probably called switching. There's an episode about switching from MDI to pumping that you might like. Ugh, my hair's getting fluffy. This is tough. End of the day. Need to catch up on GLP episodes. I'm on Zepbound as well, and the episodes I've listened to have been very helpful. Thank you. You're welcome. I feel bad right now because my weight's plateaued a little bit, and my weight loss episodes are just me getting on going, I weigh the same amount, and then me like injecting, and then I shut the thing off. But I'm gonna have more stuff to say soon. Wait. It's funny because I work in primary care clinic and I do prior auths and I help people all day, yet I was scared to take the leap. I just hit a 30 BMI and I took off. Yeah. Okay, great. I mean, what are you like at 2.5 right now or 5? Depends on how long you've been doing it, Ashley. Has it hit you? Has your hunger gone away? Have you lost weight? I have so many answers. Questions. Hold on. It's not just a complaint. Sometimes I call her on the phone and I rant for like 20 minutes about it. And I say things like, I sit at this fucking desk all day and make these podcasts. The least they could do is I get very snippy sometimes. Poor Isabel. Okay, hold on a second. Different question. Rose says, I want to know. Oh, this is on YouTube. Hi, Rose on YouTube. YouTube is growing for me. I'm going to start doing some shorts. If you guys can share them, by the way, that would be awesome. See if we can get a little momentum on the tube. That's coming. Wanting to know if anyone on Dexcom 7 are still having problems. Arden's been using Dexcom G7 since it came out, and we don't have problems with it. I'm not the right one to answer, but maybe somebody here could. This is the episode on transitioning from MDI to pumping. You can go into your comments and make clicky on that. Ashley, you're on 5 milligrams of Zepbound. How do I keep all this straight? I'm doing terrific tonight. I hope it helps you. I've lost I think I'm at like 47 pounds right now. I genuinely believe, based on my body composition and my weight, that I need to be about 10 pounds lighter, and then I think I'm done. I genuinely want to add more exercise, which is to say I'd like to add exercise, and I keep not doing it. And I at one point thought that if I outed myself in the weight loss episodes, that would help. It did not help. So I've resolved to not talking about it in public now, although I'm doing it now. And until I just do it. Like the next time I talk about exercise, I want to tell you I've been exercising for a couple of weeks. But I hit this weight. I'm not quite there yet, but 2 pounds from here, and my ring, it's hard to see, but it barely, it comes right off. 2 more pounds. And when I like put stuff in the laundry, when I bring my hands out, the ring's not on my hand anymore. Like I had to take it off um when we were on vacation because I genuinely thought I was going to lose it in the ocean. I was a couple pounds lighter when we were at the ocean. Um Anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying. I'm glad it helped you. It made me feel good to know it helped you because I actually do get shitty emails from people about it because I don't really have the ability to talk around it. Like so I say like, I was fat, I'm fat, stuff like that. And I get some people feel triggered, I think, sometimes, but I can only talk the way I talk. To keep going with Ashley, the food noise was gone and I lost 15 pounds in 6 weeks. Holy hell. Well, can't argue with that. G7 is perfect for us. Rose, you mean the G7 question that I just asked? Or is there another one? I got to 169 today. Oh, actually. Oh, you lost your ring fell off too. I'm sorry you lost it, but pretty cool. How did the 5 days shot go? Oh, when I shortened it up, it didn't really do much. Um, I was surprised. But I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna try it again. I still have some more I can give it a shot with. I think I should try it again. Honestly, my daughter has been on G7 for about a year, and we haven't had any issues. It's been great. That's from Raquel. Ryan saying hello. Hey Nicole, how are you? Hey Steve, how are you? Ryan's not. You're not late. There's no late, man. Isabel says hi to Ryan, and I will see my endo next week, planning to inquire about a GLP to help with inflammation. Boy, Christy, I think that's maybe what it does better than anything. I'm not overweight, so I'm sure it will happen, or if inflammation alone can warrant prescribing it. I'm trying for a couple years. Okay, Christy, listen. Do you have insulin resistance? That's going to be the way to go if you're asking your endo. Say, I need it for insulin resistance. Um, that's how Arden is getting it. And um, PCOS, it helps with that, but even if you have it, it's not covered for that. It's not going to insulin resistance. If you don't have, if your BMI is not over 27, insulin resistance is the way to go. And the doctor's going to have to do a little work to make that happen with insurance. A lot of people are getting dual diagnoses now, type 1 diabetes, and I have insulin resistance. They call that type 2, and it seems to be getting covered by a lot of plans. I lost weight a few years ago with zero exercise. Still don't exercise. Is that when you were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes or some other thing? Yes, very much. You don't have insulin resistance, but maybe a little. I mean, you can try telling them the stories of the other stuff and see what they can figure out for you. I mean, you've heard people talk about um, it kind of helping them with a lot of different issues. I believe it um, about the inflammation. I really do. Okay, Rose. So we answered or people are jumping in and helping you right now. That's good. And I'm starting on Wegovy back. I started on Wegovy back in May after listening to your episodes. I'm currently at max OSHA, 27 pounds per calorie. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing your journey. It was my pleasure. Really was. Um, I will not read you the very angry email I got from a girl who she does not like the way I talk about my weight. She seems very triggered. And I feel bad for her, but I don't know what to do about it because I don't feel like I'm being harsh. I'm just talking the way, how I talk. Would I give a teen a choice for pump versus MDI? I mean, yeah, but what's the sitch? You want them to have a pump and they don't want a pump, but you think it would help them more and keep their A1C lower and their stability better and all that stuff? Is that what we're asking? Because then maybe how old also? Like 13? You know what I mean? Or 19? Yes. I'm going to get burned for saying this out loud, Julie, but I mean, how many really important decisions do you let your kids make? Are they in charge of like refinancing the mortgage or whether or not they eat protein? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, I mean, at some point, if you think you have a better answer, maybe it's, I don't know, you got to try to help them find a way to it. I started back, Brenda, you started listening to this show when I was on episode 11. Is that serious? Tomorrow is episode 1293. Want to know what tomorrow's episode's called? I'll tell you. Hold on a second. I can tell you the rest of the week. Tomorrow is The Fighter. And then Friday is a news piece, which is going to be about Omnipod 5 for type 2 diabetes, Stello, and something else. Monday is Alyssa and her daughter's diabetes. Tuesday is called Fark Fark. And Wednesday is Saravel, Kamikaze Raccoon. That's all I know about right now. Which means I got to sit my ass down and put some more episodes together for you guys. Okay, let's see. Oh, Rose, you said no to the G7. Arden's been using it literally since day one. It's cool. I mean, I don't want to sell it to you, but dexcom.com/juicebox if anybody wants to learn more. The warm-up period is much shorter. The size is smaller. I think the insertion is easier and it doesn't like pull and wobble as much. But what I love is you can put the new one on before the old one's done, let it soak in so that when you switch it, it's pretty accurate. That Arden did yesterday and was awesome. 16-year-old, the choice, his body. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I mean, I agree. Like, if you're asking me personally, would I force a kid to do something they didn't want to do? I wouldn't. But I can totally see the perspective of they might not know better or best. Gregory, the training and follow up on iLet is amazing. I will be glad when they allow meal announcements from phone or watch. I'm glad you're having a good experience with it. That's excellent. I want to hear from more people who are using it, by the way. People want to come on the show and talk about it, asking because I saw my endo issue offer. Yeah, Rose. I mean, I would have said yes to the G7, Rose. My daughter is 12 and refuses a pump. I have a hard time because it's on her body and she already struggles with her Dexcom. Yeah, I mean, again, I understand. I really do. But I think that you got her to wear a Dexcom's great. I mean, obviously for safety. I just got my daughter's blood work back. Endo says she's in range for everything, but she has hair loss, constipation, stomach pain, heart palpitations, insomnia, irregular period. It sounds like her TSH is she's always her TSH was 3 last year and it's 1 this year. She's 1 is lower already. Not low, but very well in range. Should I be pushing for that? Jesus, Lauren, it sounds like it's worth trying. Like, is there a world where you could ask the doctor just to use the lowest dose and just give it a shot for a month and then retest her blood and that kind of thing? Um, God, it sounds just like hypothyroidism, doesn't it? And when it first starts happening, that number can bounce around. A 3 is worth medicating. Just because it jumped back down to a 1, because you caught it at a 3 once and a 1 once. What the hell was it doing the rest of the time? I would ask the doctor to medicate the symptoms and not the number. Greg, I started in the hundreds with the show, then started with 1. Thank you for listening. Sincerely, I appreciate it. Steven, have I gotten back to you? Are you on the books? I should have. If I didn't, I will. G7 issues have improved. Yeah, listen, the thing that you might not know about these CGMs is a lot of how they work is through the software, through the algorithm that they're running. So sometimes they put them out, then they see it on a lot of people and they go, "Oh, we could probably adjust this a little bit." So I would never measure a CGM, any company's CGM, on what you heard about it in the first 6 months. We love G7, especially now. We used an older one last week, and it wasn't as fantastic, but they've really fixed the bugs. Also, they're apparently on the 9th version of the adhesive, so it's pretty amazing. Son has really bad reactions, and now my son had really bad reactions, and now he doesn't. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, they're always iterating it and working on it. They just don't announce it all the time, but they're always working on it. I love Dexcom and Sugar Pixel. Me too. Both are life changing. We take Sugar Pixel on vacation. I have a Sugar Pixel running right across the hall right now. I've also put the last 3 on, and Dad installed the sensors that had issues. Ah, boys. I see what you're saying. Can't put them in charge of stuff. They're good at a couple of things. Hi, Wendy. How are you? All right, guys. I've been doing this for an hour. So I told my wife I'd be done at 9, but it's 9:20. So it feels like I messed up with that one. But she's watching TV, so she might not care. She might just be like, whatever. I ever get Arden to bolus? She ate. That's not the same as bolusing. I mean, she bolused because she ate, but you know what I'm saying. I was probably like, "Hey, bolus," and she's like, "I'm gonna be eating soon. I don't really need to do that." She's doing good. She's happy at college, by the way. This seems like a good move for her. I'm super excited about that. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to get a few episodes of I Don't Understand, but they're going to be with Arden and not with Jenny. If you've enjoyed the first 2 I Don't Understands, they were about diabetes topics. Arden and I are not going to do our I Don't Understands are going to be other stuff, fun stuff. Let's see what else I got here. Hold on. Ryan, I can't wait for the cruise too. Like, if you haven't signed up, do it. A few days left to get the drawing for dinner with Scott. Yes. Yes, if you put down a deposit in August, you're going to be put into a drawing to have dinner with me on the first night at a private table. We're going to be doing some more giveaway stuff in September, but the truth is like we have to hit a certain number of cabins or it's not going to happen. And we're close, but we're not there. So if you've been thinking about doing it, please put down your deposit. We don't need that many more to make it an absolute deadlock reality. So I don't want to have to I don't want to have to give Ryan his deposit back and let everybody down because a lot of people are coming. It's a big financial undertaking. You have no idea how much money it costs to get all these people on this ship. And if we can't hit a certain number, then the cruise ship it's not going to pay for itself. And then we can't do it. So I've got to satisfy a business partner with this, who is the person who's handling this whole thing. And then anyway, I really hope it happens. I think it's going to be so awesome. Is there a link to look at the cruise dates? Yes, there is. And it's right at that QR code. I can leave that up there for the rest of the time if you like. Hugs to Kelly. Don't be nice to Kelly. She wasn't nice to me tonight. Actually, I enjoyed talking too. I sincerely appreciate that you said that those episodes helped you because I really did. I really did take some crap from a few people over sharing that stuff. So I'm thrilled that it's helping you. Has Arden tried the Eversense CGM? She has not. Although, didn't Eversense have a big. I didn't look at my texts. Hold on. I had to look under the microphone. That's what I was doing just then. I got a text from my Eversense person today. And we have a meeting on Tuesday. So what was she telling me? Let me see. Where the I almost cursed, but where the hell is that text? Come on, where's Melissa? Oh, I shouldn't say her name. She's not a public person. Where in the heck? Hold on. I'm gonna look on my phone. Yeah, it's right here. Why is it not on my Eversense? I think they have a product announcement. Hold on a second. Uh, watch Scott Google. What is she telling me? Huh. Hmm. I might have to wait to tell you this, but it's eversensecgm.com/juicebox. And Eversense 3. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say. So something you'll hear it soon in the ads. Arden hasn't tried it. It doesn't at the moment Eversense doesn't hook to a pump, and Arden wears an algorithm. She needs her CGM to talk to its pump. I don't know if she would try it in the future. I'd have to ask her. I have an option to switch to the G7 or stay G6. I have no issues with G6. Probably best to switch at this point. I mean, we have great luck with. There's plenty of people in here that have great luck with it as well. I would. It's smaller. I'm in the end, that's pretty awesome. Thank you, Vanessa. You too. Appreciate you back. Colleen, you're welcome. Nicole, no problem. Ashley, have a good night. Enjoy talking. We already did this. We always said we're not going to hug Kelly. Um, Vanessa, I put up the link for the cruise there. Isabel understands me. I hope so, Jason. I take I take my fair amount of crap from people off and on. Um, I've got a message in my inbox right now. Why did you ban me from the group? And I'm like, because you're being a dick to people. Like, how do you not know that? It's cruise link Isabel put in there. Also, there's a cruise private group, by the way. There's a Juice Cruise group. If you search it in Facebook, it's a private group where people are talking about the cruise. If you want to go check it out, you can. The year-long Gregory, did they announce the year-long CGM today? Is that what the announcement was? Because her text is it's a link, but it's not helping me. I don't see anything about it on the interwebs. But I know they're working towards that. Oh, Isabel says this is a link to the Juice Cruise group. It's a private group, so you'll have to answer a couple questions to get left in. All right, guys. I'm overheating. Overheating. Yeah, dude, I sign a lot of NDAs, man, so it's tough for me, but I know they're working towards it. And I know she said to me there's an announcement, and I know we have a meeting coming up soon. So something got to be happening because I'm assuming they're calling me to change their ads. Um, so I'll get to sit here and use my big deep voice and make new ads. Anyway, you guys are terrific. Thanks so much. Subscribe and follow, download the podcast, tell a friend, join the private group. If you're in the public page, join the public page. If you're in the private group, there's a newsletter at juiceboxpodcast.com. If you want, every Friday, I'm sending out a list of the past episodes from the week in case you missed them. It's very unobtrusive. I don't scrape your thing and sell it to anybody or anything like that. Although, I mean, if somebody wanted to buy an ad on the newsletter, I'm pretty sure I would sell it to them. Fair enough. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna roll, guys. Have a great night. Love y'all.